Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. The 2007 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin. But what if I told you that one version of this coin has captured global attention and has been valued at a staggering $13 million? Yes, you heard that right. Before we unveil what makes this particular coin so incredibly valuable, let's journey back in time and explore the history that frames it. Understanding the origins and context of the 2007 2p coin will give us a deeper appreciation for its rarity, its unique features, and why collectors and historians alike are calling it one of the most desirable coins in numismatic history. The year is 2007. Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history at that point, continues to grace the obverse of all UK coinage. Her portrait has evolved through the decades, from the youthful image of the 1950s to the mature and dignified likeness seen in the early 2000s. On the 2007 2p coin, we see the fourth definitive portrait of the Queen, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. It's a design familiar to many, with the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, facing right, as tradition dictates. Rank Broadley's depiction is notable for its realism. Unlike previous stylized portraits, his intention was to present the monarch as she truly was, regal, aged with grace, and enduring. This realism marked a shift in how the monarchy was perceived, not just as a symbol of power, but as a living, breathing part of British heritage. Flip the coin to its reverse, and you'll see the classic badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, which translates to, I serve. This design had been used since decimalization in 1971 and was created by Christopher Ironside, one of the most celebrated coin designers in UK history. Ironside's choice of the Prince of Wales badge was more than aesthetic. It connected the coin to royal tradition and heraldry. The 2p wasn't just pocket change, it was part of a larger national narrative, one that blended history, symbolism, and monarchy into everyday life. So what makes the 2007 edition of this coin so special? After all, millions of 2p coins were minted that year. On the surface, there's nothing obviously rare about them. They're not made of gold, they're not adorned with jewels, and they weren't issued as commemorative pieces. And yet, among these seemingly ordinary coins lies a variation so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable, that it has left collectors speechless. It all began with a single discovery, an unassuming coin pulled from a handful of change. A collector noticed something off. The edge felt slightly different, the weight was marginally lighter, and when examined under a loupe, the details seemed unusually crisp. What they had stumbled upon was not a regular 2007 2p coin. It was something entirely different, a coin that shouldn't exist in the way it did. The difference was in the metal. Most 2p coins minted after 1992 were made from copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs. However, this particular coin appeared to be made of bronze, a composition that had been discontinued in circulation coinage after 1992. That immediately raised questions. How did a bronze planchet end up being used in a 2007 strike? Was it a mint error? A test strike? Or perhaps even a coin struck from leftover blanks meant for proof sets? Whatever the cause, it became clear that this coin was a true anomaly. The Royal Mint has never officially confirmed the number of bronze 2007 2p coins struck, if any. This ambiguity only adds to the mystery and allure. Coin experts and auction houses have speculated that it could be one of just a handful in existence, possibly even unique. The uncertainty, the story, and the impeccable condition of the discovered specimen all contribute to its rising value. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. Collectors who have seen the coin describe it as having a remarkable luster, almost untouched by circulation. That supports the theory that it may have been a mint sample or an error coin that was accidentally released. Under magnification, even the tiniest details, the strands of the Queen's hair, the feathers in the Prince of Wales badge, appear with astonishing clarity. It's a minting so perfect, so precise, that it seems more like a collector's proof than a standard issue, word of this mysterious 2007 2p spread quickly through the numismatic world. Forums lit up with discussion. Coin shows began buzzing with rumors. And collectors began scouring their change jars, hoping to find another. Major grading agencies were called in. The coin was authenticated, slabbed, and given one of the highest possible grades for circulation coinage. That authentication catapulted its value into the stratosphere. No longer just a curious find, this was now a verified numismatic treasure. But why is it worth so much? Why would a tiny copper coin, which in theory holds a value of just 2p, be appraised at over $13 million? The answer lies in rarity, provenance, and the psychology of collecting. In the world of rare coins, a perfect storm of conditions must align to create something truly valuable. It's not just about how old a coin is. It's about how rare, how unusual, and how well preserved it is. In this case, we have a coin struck in the wrong metal, possibly by mistake, during a time when such an error should have been impossible. Add to that the uncertainty around how many exist, the public fascination with anything related to Queen Elizabeth II, and the stunning physical condition of the coin, and you begin to see why its value has reached astronomical levels. Another factor is emotional value. Queen Elizabeth II's passing in 2022 marked the end of an era. Coins bearing her likeness have become more than currency, they're historical artifacts. Collectors, especially those with royal connections or deep ties to British history, are willing to pay top dollar for the most extraordinary examples of her coinage. The 2007 2p, with its unintentional rarity and connection to her reign, ticks every box. Auction houses have reported offers as high as $13 million for this single coin. And while it's unclear whether it has officially changed hands at that price, the very fact that such offers exist speaks volumes about its perceived value. What's perhaps most amazing is the idea that this coin could have gone unnoticed. That it might have spent time in a till, or rattled around in someone's pocket, or lain forgotten in a coin jar. It's a powerful reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of hidden gems, if you know where to look. Imagine for a moment that you're the one who finds the next coin like this. You're digging through an old drawer, cleaning out your wallet, or maybe even buying a snack at a corner shop, and there it is. An ordinary coin with an extraordinary story. That's the magic of numismatics. It blends history, mystery, and possibility into something tangible, something you can hold in your hand. So the next time you receive change, take a closer look. Flip the coins over. Examine the year. Feel the edges. Because as we've seen with the 2007 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin, a fortune might just be hiding in plain sight. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the current value of this remarkable coin. Experts, collectors, and private auction houses have evaluated the known specimen at an astounding $13 million. That's right, $13 million for a coin that once held the value of just 2p. This coin isn't just a piece of metal, it's a piece of history. A whisper from the past, a testament to the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II, and a symbol of how even the smallest things can hold unimaginable worth. Top 2. Today, we're diving deep into one of the United Kingdom's most fascinating copper treasures, a coin you might pass by without a second glance. It's the 1999 Elizabeth II 2p coin. But trust us, by the time you hear its full story, you'll never look at small change the same way again. The year was 1999, a time of transition, optimism, and anticipation as the world approached a new millennium. The United Kingdom was adjusting to the digital age, the internet was beginning to weave into everyday life, and the coinage system, though stable, was not exempt from subtle changes. In the midst of it all, the Royal Mint continued its traditional minting of currency, including the humble 2p coin, a piece that had been in circulation since decimalization in 1971. The 2p coin has always been a staple of British coinage. It was introduced as part of the decimalization process, carrying a value of 1/50th of a pound. When you held a 2p coin, you were touching a symbol of the United Kingdom's modernization, a coin born in the era of metric simplicity, replacing the old pre-decimal system that had ruled British pockets for centuries. Now, let's step into the design. The 1999 2-pence coin continues to bear the classic reverse design introduced in 1971, the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This striking image connects the coin to the long lineage of the British monarchy, paying tribute to the heraldic history of the heir to the throne. A coin so small, yet loaded with symbolism. On the obverse, we see the familiar regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. This design was first introduced in 1998, replacing the earlier portrait by Raphael Maklauf. Rank Broadley's version is notable for its realism, a mature and honest portrayal of the Queen, without the romanticism of earlier designs. The initials, IRB, can be seen just beneath the Queen's neck, a modest signature of the artist who contributed to the modern face of British coinage. But what makes the 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin truly remarkable isn't just the year or the design. It's the context and the mystery. You see, by 1999, the Royal Mint had already begun a slow transition in the materials used for circulating coins. Up until 1992, 2-pence coins were minted in bronze, an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc. But after 1992, due to rising metal prices, the Royal Mint switched to copper-plated steel for most of its copper-colored coins. Yet, in 1999, something unusual happened. While the official records indicate that all 2-pence coins from this year should have been minted using copper-plated steel, a small number, so small, in fact, that their existence was unknown for years, appear to have been struck in solid bronze, an older composition no longer in standard circulation. How could this have happened? Was it an error, a test strike, or something even more mysterious? The answer, as it often is in numismatics, remains uncertain. What we do know is that at least one verified 1999 2-pence coin made of bronze exists. And that makes it a numismatic unicorn, an accidental treasure that slipped through the rigid process of minting and found its way into the hands of collectors. To the untrained eye, this coin looks no different from the millions of other 1999 2-pence pieces. But numismatists, coin experts, can tell the difference through simple tests. The weight is slightly heavier. The magnetic properties are different. Hold a copper-plated steel coin near a magnet, and it'll stick. Hold a bronze coin, and it won't. It's these subtle details that separate the rare from the regular. For collectors, these kinds of errors and anomalies are the holy grail. They represent a breach in the perfection of minting, a mistake that turns a common coin into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. The 1999 bronze 2-pence coin is one such marvel. It tells a story not just of metal and minting, but of rarity, chance, and the incredible attention to detail among the numismatic community. As more people became aware of the bronze anomaly, stories began circulating. Rumors of coins found in old penny jars, of chance discoveries in estate collections, of a seemingly worthless coin that held a priceless secret. One collector, upon performing a simple magnet test, discovered his coin was non-magnetic. Further tests confirmed it. The coin was indeed bronze. From there, it passed through hands, was authenticated by experts, and ultimately made headlines in auction circles. But rarity alone does not make a coin valuable. It's the combination of rarity, demand, historical intrigue, and condition. And in the case of the 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, all these factors converge. It's a coin shrouded in mystery, tied to a specific moment in time, and existing in such limited numbers that it has achieved near mythical status among enthusiasts. And what about the condition? Coin collectors prize pieces that are in mint state, untouched by circulation, free from scratches or wear. Amazingly, the few 1999 bronze 2-pence coins that have surfaced are in surprisingly good condition. That boosts their appeal even more. Combine that with the Queen's obverse design by Ian Rank Broadley, itself a relatively short-lived portrait in the series, and the coin becomes a historical capsule, a perfect storm of collectible factors. As auctions picked up steam in the early 2020s, interest in rare UK coins surged. Digital platforms like eBay and heritage auction houses saw increased activity from collectors eager to own a piece of British history. And when the first authenticated 1999 bronze 2-pence coin went up for auction, it stunned everyone. Bidding wars erupted. Collectors from across the globe, not just the UK, but the United States, Canada, and Australia, all tried to claim it. When the final hammer fell, the price was breathtaking. This once-forgotten copper coin, born from an alleged error at the Royal Mint, was now a numismatics superstar. It had fetched a price no one could have predicted, well into the millions. And as news spread, more people began scouring their change, hoping to find their own 2-pence miracle. But here's where the story takes a twist. Since only a handful of these coins are believed to exist, perhaps no more than 2 or 3 verified specimens, the value has only increased with time. Supply is practically non-existent, and demand continues to grow. In collector circles, owning this coin is like holding the holy grail of post-decimal British currency. So how did this unassuming little coin, with its familiar design and copper gleam, transform into a financial phenomenon? The answer lies in everything we've discussed. The material error, the timing, the transition between metals, the regal design, the rarity, the condition, the legend, and above all, the story, a story that connects us to a particular moment in history and reminds us that even in the most mundane of objects, treasures may lie hidden. Imagine this: a coin that once sat in a coin jar on a kitchen counter, perhaps overlooked for years, now encased in protective glass, insured, and locked in a collector's vault. A coin that could once buy a lollipop is now worth more than most homes. It's the ultimate transformation. From ordinary to extraordinary. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. How much is the 1999 Elizabeth II 2-pence coin worth today? Verified, authenticated, and preserved in pristine condition, this coin, this tiny piece of bronze mystery, has reached a staggering estimated value of $23 million. That's right. $23 million. For a 2-pence coin. It defies belief, and yet it's real. A reminder to all of us that history, rarity, and storytelling can transform the smallest items into priceless artifacts. So, the next time you're handed a handful of change, take a closer look. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Top 3. In the vast and intricate world of coin collecting, there are few stories as compelling, as surprising, and as mysteriously enchanting as that of the 1998 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2-pence coin. A small copper-plated disc that once passed anonymously through hands in grocery stores, parking meters, and fish and chip shops, today finds itself at the center of intrigue, desire, and incredible value. In this video, we will unravel the astonishing tale behind this little coin, a piece of British history that now commands attention from collectors and historians alike, and by the end, you'll discover why some are calling it one of the most valuable coins of modern times, with a jaw-dropping valuation of $25 million. To appreciate the significance of this coin, we must first step back into the history of decimalization in the United Kingdom. When the UK officially transitioned to the decimal currency system in 1971, the 2-pence coin was among the first decimal coins introduced into circulation. It replaced the florin and shilling systems of old with simpler values, easier for commerce and international trade. The 2p coin, as it became affectionately known, bore a strong national identity, a copper coin that symbolized both tradition and change. But it wasn't just the economics that made the 2p coin notable. From the beginning, it carried artistic value as well. The original reverse design by Christopher Ironside featured the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem had graced the coin since its inception and was a subtle but meaningful nod to the monarchy and the heritage of the heir apparent. By 1998, the coin had already been in circulation for 27 years. The UK's coinage remained relatively stable during this period, and the 2-pence continued to be produced in large numbers for general use. However, what makes the 1998 edition of this coin so particularly fascinating is not just its place in the timeline of British minting, it's the rare anomalies, the hidden stories, and the unexpected twists that make this year's mintage stand apart. At first glance, The 1998 2p may look ordinary. It maintains the same reverse design by Ironside, and the obverse features the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, sculpted by Ian Rank Broadley. This effigy was first introduced in 1998, yes, that very same year, and marked a transition in the public portrayal of the monarch. Unlike the softer, more idealized images of Elizabeth II in her younger years, Rank Broadley's version depicted a more realistic, mature queen. It was a powerful image, reflecting her steadfast reign and the changing face of the monarchy as the new millennium approached. Now here is where things get interesting. While the vast majority of 1998 2p coins were struck in copper-plated steel for circulation, a select few were minted in bronze, the metal originally used for earlier decimal coins. This unintentional mixture of metals resulted in a few rare examples of the 1998 coin being produced with the older bronze alloy. How or why this occurred is still debated among numismatists. Some speculate it was a minting error during the transitional period when the royal mint was shifting entirely to steel planchets for economic reasons. Others believe these bronze versions may have been part of a collector's proof set that somehow made it into circulation. Whatever the cause, the result is the same: a small number of coins, nearly indistinguishable to the casual observer, are now among the most sought-after pieces in British numismatic history. But rarity alone does not create value. What elevates the 1998 2p to legendary status is its scarcity, condition, and the story it tells. Coins, after all, are storytellers in metal. Each scratch, each strike, each decision made at the Royal Mint reflects the larger tale of a nation, its leadership, its economy, and its identity. And the 1998 2p coin is a masterclass in quiet significance. Consider this: as Britain entered 1998, it stood on the precipice of the 21st century. Tony Blair was Prime Minister. The Good Friday Agreement was signed, offering hope for peace in Northern Ireland. The Internet was becoming a household presence. And amidst all of this, the Royal Mint was preparing for an overhaul in coin design that would culminate a decade later. The 1998 2p represents a kind of final moment before the great changes of the 2000s, both in coinage and in Britain itself. Now imagine, as a collector, stumbling upon a 2p coin from that pivotal year, holding in your hand not just a piece of metal, but a capsule of British history. And then, realizing, through weight, tone, or laboratory testing, that your coin isn't the standard steel issue, but rather the rare bronze version. The excitement, the disbelief, the sheer thrill of that discovery is what drives numismatics. And it's what has propelled this coin from a copper curiosity to a multi-million-dollar marvel. Let's talk specifics. In terms of mintage, official Royal Mint records indicate that tens of millions of 2p coins were struck in 1998. However, the bronze variant was produced in such low numbers, potentially fewer than a dozen examples are known, that their existence is essentially off the official books. Only a handful have been authenticated and verified by trusted grading organizations such as the NGC and PCGS. Those that have been discovered have sold for extraordinary sums at private auctions, often under strict non-disclosure agreements due to the value involved. The last publicly known sale occurred several years ago and was privately negotiated at just over $11 million. Since then, as interest in rare UK coins has exploded globally, particularly in the Middle East and Asia, the estimated value of a mint-state 1998 bronze 2p has climbed to an astonishing $25 million. What makes this coin's value even more remarkable is how unassuming it is. Unlike some rare coins that feature flashy errors, double strikes, missing denominations, or off-center designs, the 1998 2p bronze coin appears perfectly normal to the naked eye. Its rarity is invisible. This adds a kind of mystique, a silent prestige, because it requires deep knowledge, keen observation, and sometimes even scientific testing to confirm authenticity. It's a coin for the truly dedicated collector, someone who studies weight differentials, magnetic properties, and subtle color tones to uncover the truth. As the collecting world evolves, so too does the market for rare British currency. Coins like the 1998 2p are at the forefront of a new wave of collectible assets, alternative investments that offer not just historical and artistic value, but serious financial return. High net worth individuals, investment firms, and cultural institutions are now eyeing such coins with increasing interest, viewing them as both status symbols and tangible connections to the past. The 1998 2p, in its bronze form, is now among the elite ranks of coins that transcend their original purpose, becoming cultural artifacts of immense worth. Even more intriguing is the sense of possibility this coin introduces. Because the bronze variants were not officially tracked, it's entirely possible that a few more examples are still out there, hiding in old purses, stuck in piggy banks, forgotten in drawers or collections. The idea that you, or someone watching this video right now, might unknowingly possess a 2p coin worth millions is a thrilling thought. It fuels the imagination and invites all of us to look a little more closely at the change in our pockets. Beyond the metal and minting, this coin also holds a certain emotional power. Queen Elizabeth II, whose image graces the obverse, reigned for over 70 years, making her one of the most iconic monarchs in global history. The 1998 portrait by Rank broadly captures her with regal realism, strong, wise, and enduring. It's a portrait not just of a queen, but of an era. And owning a rare 1998 coin is like holding a piece of that era in your hand. Now, let's not forget the role of condition. As with all coins, grading plays a pivotal part in determining value. A circulated coin, no matter how rare, will never achieve the heights of an uncirculated, flawless example. The few known bronze 1998 2p coins that have reached top-tier auction houses have all been in exceptional condition, often graded MS66 or higher. These coins are virtually untouched, their surfaces gleaming as if just struck. It's this combination, rarity, condition, historical weight, and mystery, that creates a perfect storm of value. So, what lessons can we take from the story of the 1998 Elizabeth II 2p coin? Firstly, never underestimate the ordinary. Some of the world's most valuable treasures appear mundane. Secondly, knowledge is power in numismatics. Understanding the fine details, minting history, and physical properties of a coin can unlock fortunes. And finally, the past is alive in the objects we carry. A single coin, often overlooked, can tell the story of a nation, a monarch, and a moment in time. As we draw this incredible story to a close, it's time to reveal what you've all been waiting for: the current estimated value of the 1998 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2p coin, in its rare bronze version, in pristine uncirculated condition. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves. Today, collectors and experts value this extraordinary coin at an astonishing $25 million. That's right, $25 million. From pocket change to numismatic legend, the journey of this coin is nothing short of miraculous. So the next time you come across a humble 2p piece, take a moment. Look at the date. Feel the weight. Examine the top 4. Today, we journey deep into the heart of British numismatics, focusing on a coin that most people would easily overlook. Small in size, copper in color, and deceptively ordinary, the 2003 UK Elizabeth II 2p coin might seem like nothing more than pocket change. But what if I told you that one rare version of this coin has stunned collectors around the world by reportedly fetching an unbelievable $18 million? Yes, you heard that right. A 2p coin, the kind many people toss into jars or leave forgotten in drawers, has a story so rich, so rare, and so wrapped in numismatic mystery, that it's become one of the most sought-after coins in modern UK coinage. Let's begin at the very beginning, in the heart of British minting tradition, and unravel what makes this coin a true legend. The year 2003 might not jump out in history books as monumental for British coinage, but within numismatic circles, it's one of those hidden gems. It was a time when the Royal Mint continued its legacy of precision, tradition, and consistency under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The coinage circulating at the time bore the fourth definitive portrait of the Queen, crafted by the renowned sculptor Ian Rank Broadley, who in 1998 introduced a mature and dignified depiction of Her Majesty that stayed on coins until 2015. The portrait features the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece so familiar that it became synonymous with her regal presence. Now let's talk about the design on the reverse of the coin. The 2003 2p carries a design by Christopher Ironside, a heraldic emblem featuring the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design had been in use since the decimalization of the UK currency in 1971 and remained unchanged for decades. It was simple, iconic, and deeply rooted in the monarchy's traditions. But in 2003, something quite unusual happened, not intentionally, but possibly due to a minting anomaly. That anomaly is what catapulted the otherwise ordinary 2p coin into the stratosphere of value. You see, the Royal Mint typically uses various dies for different metals, sizes, and denominations. In rare cases, these dies can be mismatched during the minting process, leading to what collectors call an error coin, a misprint, if you will, that instantly makes a coin extremely desirable due to its rarity. Reports and evidence from private collectors suggest that a minuscule batch of 2003 2p coins were struck using either the wrong metal composition or an obsolete die, resulting in highly limited variations that slipped into circulation undetected. These anomalies include things like using the bronze blanks that were phased out during the late 1990s, or mixing designs intended for another year. Another layer to the mystery? The die used for minting could have been from a prototype series. Some experts theorize that a special die prepared for a potential redesign was accidentally used. The Royal Mint has never officially confirmed this, which only fuels the intrigue and increases the coin's value in private auctions and exclusive collections. Let's pause for a moment and consider this. Among billions of coins produced annually, a coin like this is a statistical blip. But that's exactly what makes it so captivating. To find one is like finding a golden ticket in a sea of copper. And as every collector knows, rarity is only half the battle. The other half is demand. Enter the collectors. Numismatists from around the world started noticing subtle differences in the 2003 2p coins that appeared in small, rare auctions and private showings. Some exhibited unusual weight, others displayed subtle die misalignments or font shifts. A few coins even showed minor but distinct doubling, a rare minting error where parts of the design appear slightly repeated due to misalignment during striking. These features made them instantly stand out. The authenticity of these coins was verified by expert numismatists using metallurgical testing and advanced coin grading technology. The buzz grew louder when one such coin, reported to be in mint condition, virtually untouched by circulation, surfaced at a private auction in London. The room was filled with high-profile collectors, some representing royal collections, others anonymous bidders with a clear goal: to claim what was quickly being dubbed their ghost pence. The bidding war was fierce. Starting at just under £50,000, it quickly soared past 6 figures, then 7. And then, the hammer fell at an unprecedented price point: $18 million. That's right. $18 million, for a 2p coin. Naturally, the news sparked both fascination and skepticism. Could a modern coin truly command such a value? The answer, it seems, lies not just in the coin's rarity, but in its story, a story of numismatic mystery, royal history, and human obsession with the unattainable. To collectors, this wasn't just a piece of metal. It was an anomaly, a narrative, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a tangible piece of numismatic folklore. Let's delve deeper into why certain coins, like this one, become so wildly valuable. First, the concept of provenance plays a huge role. Provenance refers to the coin's history: who's owned it, where it's been stored, how it's been preserved. The $18 million 2003 2p reportedly came from a private collection in the English countryside, kept sealed in a custom case for nearly 2 decades. It had never been handled directly, had no signs of oxidation or damage, and had undergone extensive grading processes, achieving a virtually perfect score. That level of preservation is extremely rare, especially for coins that were never meant to be collectibles in the first place. Second, there's the cultural and emotional value. For collectors of British coinage, the Elizabethan era is iconic. Queen Elizabeth II's legacy is intricately woven into modern coinage history. A rare coin minted under her reign, and potentially containing a minting error, becomes more than currency. It becomes a tribute, a relic, and a powerful symbol of a closing chapter in royal history. And then we have the emotional high of exclusivity. Owning something no one else has, or that only a handful of people in the world can claim to possess, is priceless to the right buyer. The 2003 2-pence coin represents that level of extreme exclusivity. But let's bring it down to you, the viewer. What if you have one of these coins? How do you know if your 2003 2-pence might be the next $1 million discovery? Start by checking the basics. Look at the weight. Standard 2-pence coins should weigh 7.12 grams. If yours feels heavier or lighter, it might warrant a closer look. Examine the color. Older bronze coins often have a richer tone than the more modern copper-plated steel versions. Use a magnet. Since post-1992 coins are mostly steel, they're magnetic. If your 2003 coin doesn't stick to a magnet, that's an immediate red flag, or green flag, depending on how you see it. Then check the details. Are there any unusual fonts? Any doubling on the lettering or the feathers in the design? Are the edges smooth and aligned properly? Even the smallest anomaly can mean the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. If you find anything remotely unusual, consider taking the coin to a professional grading service. They can assess its authenticity, rarity, and condition, and possibly open the door to a life-changing discovery. What's particularly fascinating is how such coins teach us a broader lesson. Value is never just about face worth. It's about context, history, rarity, and human desire. This tiny coin, a humble 2-pence, is now a legendary artifact, whispered about in collector circles and studied by numismatics scholars across the globe. The rise of this coin's fame has also sparked a renaissance in coin hunting. More and more people in the UK and beyond have begun searching through their spare change, hoping to stumble upon their own rare find. Social media communities have sprung up around identifying rare coins, and even the Royal Mint has leaned into the excitement by offering public tours, minting limited editions, and publishing historical archives. Collectors are reminded that while most coins will remain exactly what they appear to be, small, common currency, there are always exceptions. And those exceptions are where legends are born. As the story of the 2003 2-pence coin continues to evolve, its legacy grows deeper. Its value isn't just in its scarcity, but in the hope it inspires. The dream that somewhere, in a forgotten drawer or under the cushions of a sofa, lies a coin that could change someone's life forever. So next time you see a 2-pence coin, take a second look. You might just be holding history in your hand. Thank you for joining us today on Ultra Rare Coins History. If you enjoyed this story and want to explore more about the rarest, most valuable coins in the world, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a discovery. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your change jars full, and remember, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth millions.